Excited to jump into today's presentation, which is, we kind of, I think, talked about booking pages on our most recent webinar as well. Now we're really diving into kind of the leaks, right? How we lose people. So I don't know if anybody doesn't know us, but I'm Abby. I think we all know. Started out as a dog trainer, found my way into dog software, which has been really fun. And I'm a crazy boykin lady. I've got one licking me right now. I'll let my colleague Allison introduce herself as well.
Hi, I know Sylvia. Lola, I don't know you, but welcome to the event. Allison Fisher. I run our professional services here at PocketSuite, and I also own three locations of a pet resort. Today, we hit an all-time attendance record, I will share, across my three locations, which is exciting. The team was just texting me. And I'm a terrier fanatic. I have two Kerry Blues. You may have heard that as you were jumping in, Susan and Judy, and two female Kerry Blue Terriers living in the same house is quite an experience. So,
Is I've got a boykin in my lap, who's going to help me present. He just decided he'll leave soon. He'll get too hot. So obviously we know dogs, right? And we understand this industry, and so a little bit about kind of how Pocket Suite came to be and how we fell into the picture, right? Is it was originally built not just for pets, but service-based businesses. And so we serve thousands of service-based businesses, whether it is pet care, dog training, dog boarding, or estheticians, nail technicians, personal trainers. So we've served over 1,000 pet businesses over the years since 2014. And so we've really learned a lot, not just from the pet space. Again, that's the language that Allison and I speak, but the Pocket Suite team overall has learned a lot from all kinds of different service industries. And I think that actually makes us a little unique. There's a lot of niche pet specific software out there, which is fantastic. But I think we have the benefit of kind of zooming out and seeing what are other industries doing that are working. And actually, I think that's how this whole booking flow kind of came to be within Pocket Suite. And I think that's one of the things that really sets it apart. And we'll talk a little bit further about that today. So you can see again some of the highlights of our features. I won't go too in depth here. Um, and so today we're going to cover the booking page, and that's where growth either leaks or hides. And so that's what I was just alluding to. We've learned a lot, not just from the pet care space, but other industry verticals about where the drop off is in the online booking page and kind of lead process. Hi, Jill. Welcome. So we're going to learn 5 moments in the pet parent's booking journey and what pet pros are telling us and kind of where the clients hesitate. We're going to talk about payments to stop leakage, how we can automate the whole journey, and just kind of where to tweak, right? I know Allison's biggest thing is whenever we do these webinars, we want to give you something tangible to take away. And so that's kind of the end here is what you need to change with your booking flow. All right. So marketing, I think, has become a larger conversation in most recent years. I was full-time running pretty large dog training facilities in the peak of COVID, and we had dogs falling out of the sky. We didn't spend a single dollar on marketing. That has now since changed. And so every dollar is leading to kind of one page, right? And so what happens on that page really dictates whether those dollars were well spent. And so 60%, and this is based off of the pet boarding industry survey that we recently completed, 60% of pet boarding, daycare, and resort businesses grew revenue year over year. And so 54% of businesses report that 75% or more of monthly revenue actually comes from repeat clients. And the booking page, there's kind of 2 points to make here. First of all, a booking page makes it easier for clients to come back. They don't have to remember to pick up the phone during business hours. They can just go ahead and rebook the same service. In addition, for those new clients, it's the first real test of whether the client finds your process easy enough that they want to come back. If you make it so hard for them to book, they're not going to come back for services because it's not easy enough to obtain those services. So here's kind of 5 moments that we've like really drilled into. The click, the pet parent lands on the booking page kind of for the first time and they make a choice. They decide what selection they are going to make, boarding, daycare, add-ons, etc. And so they check whether or not they have room, right? That's what they're trying to discern. And they want to see what the pricing or payment structure is. They're gathering information. And then, of course, the confirmation that they want reassurance that the booking was received. So, moment one, the first impression needs to be a clean, welcoming page that's very clear and builds trust. A generic form kind of really isn't it. Um, your first impression really reflects the quality of care. It reflects who you are as a brand. And so connecting things like your Google business profile will help you display reviews. That adds rapport and that really helps drive those client decisions. And so again, first impressions really matter, that first click. Choices. So in PocketSuite, and this is a little bit different than some other platforms that are out there, a pet parent actually picks their services and packages first. They then can view the calendar and go on from there, but they're able to see the menu with pricing. I kind of equate this to Amazon or really any online platform, right? I build my shopping cart first, so I get my pricing, I know what I'm going to pay, and then I give you all my information, where to ship my order, my credit card, all of that. And so it's very interesting to me that in the pet care space, a lot of systems out there are asking for all of this information about the dog, about the client, your blood type, before you can even view what their service offerings are. And so that's again just how PocketSuite is kind of flipping this on its head a little bit from the industry standard is let them view your service menu, look at your prices, look at your add-ons, and then look at your calendar. And the full menu is definitely a strength, and we can categorize it to make it digestible for the client. So we can organize into categories, you can bundle popular add-on services, or you can present one relevant add-on at a time if you don't want to bog people down. And then once that package or service is chosen, then the client can see your availability, right? They're able to quickly see, okay, can you even fit my dog in for this service? And so showing real live availability tied to that service really helps build that trust with the client, right? They're not sitting in limbo wondering, well, do they have availability for me? They can see it in real time. And so letting clients seeing those openings the same day that they're searching is just the best practice here. We want to keep the path from, choosing the service to confirmation just as short as possible, right? That instant gratification. Moment four. This is the moment with probably the most room for improvement, I would say, with with the way a lot of businesses are run right now. These are can be completely automated. Deposits instead of a full prepayment. Obviously, that is, I think, pretty industry standard by putting some form of deposit. You can also offer payment plans for higher cost packages. So, again, I come from kind of the training world, and board and trains tend to be very expensive, very pricey, and I refuse to lose a client due to cost. If there's anything we can do to work with them to get their dog into training, we're going to do that. So, payment plans or buy now, pay later. PocketSuite does offer Klarna, Affirm, Afterpay, and the financing is done by those providers, not you, not PocketSuite. So you're not held liable for that payment. So
I'd be interested to know. I think it's just Lola and Sylvia on the call, but if anyone's using that buy now, pay later, we're certainly seeing lots of folks on our side of it, our side from Pocket Suite side using it. But also, if you aren't using it, what's your opinion on that? I think there's some folks who hesitate to use it because they know their customers are financing essentially their services, but definitely a growing audience of people who are using it on Pocket Suite side.
I definitely use it. I just activated it on my client end earlier this year, and it's been really helpful. I know Pocket Suite has always had the option to break up the
Yeah.
payments itself. So I used to do that for clients who, because for my typical spend for a client, I require a 50% deposit and then the rest would be due at the time of booking. But for some people, like those two big hefty payments felt
Mhm.
overwhelming. So I used to break their invoices down into smaller payments for them. But now with the buy now, pay later, I find I run into that question less often. People just choose that
Hit the
instead.
button. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what generally we're seeing too. And it's nice to not have to manage that part of the
Yeah.
experience, right? Especially when you're the person that's training or performing the service. It's like bookkeeping is not necessarily what you're hoping to be spending your time on. So it's great. Sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt you, Abby. Just
No, that's wonderful. And please, Lola, Sylvia, jump in. It's a small group, and so we can, share what's working and what's not. Again, I think it's really valuable because and transparently, my training business I was with, we ran on a different platform. And so we did not have this capability. And therefore we had to do like, what did we use? PayPal had their own kind of financing option, and it was just a pain. And so having it built into the system where the client just selects it, it's also kind of like a privacy thing for them. I mean, obviously you can see, but they're not having to have it like an uncomfortable conversation with you, right? They can just pick the option that works best for them. So I think that's really helpful. So, uh, Lola said you were thinking about it. Yeah, I think there's a lot of pros to it. And then again, not really a lot of, liability on your end, right? The financing is done through the provider. Um, so yeah, I mean, you can certainly turn on the payment plans, and that's what Sylvia was just talking about, where PocketSuite, rather than Klarna, Affirm, Afterpay, breaks down the payments. And you can do that any package priced over $300, but you can also enable buy now, pay later for training packages and extended stays. And just automate your collection, right? Just automating so that it's a really smooth experience for the client. All right, the confirm. So booking obviously does not end at payment. The confirm moment really just reassures, right? When you're booking online, there's that running joke that I'm a millennial, that like millennials can't conduct a airline transaction on a small screen. Like we're incapable of booking airline tickets on a phone. We have to, there's a whole kayak commercial, and I think it's hilarious, where they're like, I need my big screen, I need my computer, right? It's just like a thing that we have where it doesn't feel real on the phone. Sylvia said yes. I need my screen. I don't know why. Airline tickets are a desktop thing. We got to do that on the desktop. I can book the hotel on my phone. I don't know. So same kind of concept. When they're booking online, they really need it abundantly clear that this went through, it is registered, you are booked with them. And so big plans, big screen, right, Sylvia? Yes, big plans, big screen. I like that motto. Welcome. We have a few folks hopping in now. Hello, everyone. Thanks for hopping on. We're just walking through where to stop leakage in the online booking process, and we just kind of got to the confirmation. So we were joking about there's a kayak commercial about millennials, and I'm one of them, so I can pick on them. How we cannot purchase airline tickets on a small screen. We have to use a computer. It's just like a weird mental block we have. The same kind of concept applies to an online booking for a pet parent, right? They want it to be abundantly clear that the booking was received and is confirmed. And so making that, again, just very abundantly clear. Dawn says baby boomers too. I'm glad I'm not alone. Sylvia said big screen or big plans, big screen. And that resonated. Big plans, big screen. So exactly. Your client making big plans for their dog, they really want that abundantly clear confirmation. So automatic confirmation, the instant a booking and payment are completed, we can actually send out automated texts, include everything the client needs to be successful: arrival time, services booked, add-ons, any outstanding forms and contracts, and then follow up after the stay to invite the next booking. That's a really big piece that I think so many businesses don't know how to capitalize on, because in a lot of systems, it's so manual to have to follow up with the client. But with a system like PocketSuite, you can utilize smart campaigns to automate this to, again, just, hey, thanks so much for staying with us. We'd love to have you again.
Abby, if I could jump in here, sorry,
Yeah.
back on that one. We talked about this a couple of webinars ago when we discussed client retention, but my recommendation, and for folks that just jumped on, nice to meet you. I run our professional services at PocketSuite, but I also own three high volume pet resorts. And something that I do regularly, in fact, my teams are doing it this week. We always do like a planning week in July. We go through every piece of the customer experience and make sure that we haven't messed something up, or we changed a policy and forgot to change this confirmation email, or forgot to change this notification or whatever. And so I think it's fair to call out that as you're thinking about your booking page, walk through that yourself and make sure that everything is coming as you expect and you expect that. I think in the midst of running resorts and training facilities and all the things, we all get so ingrained in what we're doing that we're like, oh, the client should totally know that they should have filled out this behavior form. Well, it's actually not sending anymore for whatever reason, whatever that is. Go and make sure that they are getting the information that they need is from my perspective the biggest takeaway, from this conversation.
Yeah, I love that. I love the regular auditing of your processes. I think that's so important and stepping back and looking at the customer's experience. Um, so just to kind of bundle up what we talked about, and we can always circle back. If anyone has any questions, feel free to please put them in the chat, come off mute. We're here to have a conversation. But this is a great way to wrap it up, right? Is real-time availability across every location, service, staff member, being able to give them the information they need as quickly and as painlessly as possible is going to get you the booking. And so having that real-time availability, they know immediately, yes or no, that you can take my dog. Um, and that also helps with so many dummy reservations. I mean, we see all the time in this industry. People that book at multiple places because they don't know if they're going to get in. And so they make multiple boarding reservations for their dog and then they think, oh, I'm just going to cancel. And they don't. And so, again, real time availability cuts down on some of that. Also, clear categorized service menus. So, very clearly being able to pick your track, boarding, daycare, grooming, training, and then from there, walking through the booking flow. Another thing to note on this that I do want to touch on is for those of us that have pretty big fleshed out websites, PocketSuite is very link based. So if you have a whole tab on your website dedicated to your boarding services, you can actually put a PocketSuite booking link just to those boarding services right on that page. That way, it makes it again very clear. The client landed on your boarding page because they're looking at your boarding options. They click book now. It should show them the boarding options. It shouldn't take them to add all their dog's information and everything about, vaccines. And no, if they click book now, it should take them straight to the boarding. So again, making it very clear and painless to the client. Deposits and payment plans. We talked pretty extensively about the difference between payment plans and buy now, pay later. For those that just jumped on, my background is in dog training. And so very familiar with, of course, higher dollar packages like board and trains. And I never want to lose a client to price. If they want to get their dog trained and they're wanting to go through the program and work with me, I will go to the ends of the earth to train your dog. And so buy now, pay later has been a great tool for that because the client can finance the training program through Klarna, Afterpay, Affirm. I'm not taking on any risk because it's again going through that provider and it's all integrated into the platform. So when the client goes to pay online, they can actually select the program that works best for their financial situation, which also kind of helps avoid just any awkward conversations that the client might not be willing to have. So it kind of preserves that privacy for them as well. So again, just offering for boarding, deposits, grooming, same thing, deposits or cards on file. Payment plans for larger packages. So, like, even if they book a daycare package that's $500, $600, you can split that into 4 separate payments or 2 separate payments. And then again, buy now, pay later, which I'm a very big fan of for those really high dollar training packages. Automated confirmations. Communication's the key, right? So reminders, post-stay follow-ups, taking it a step further, remembering the dog's birthday. That's an automation that you can set up. It takes 2 seconds to set up a smart campaign to send out on the dog's birthday and watch how that dictates your clients coming back when they realize that you remembered their dog on their birthday. And then the last piece is smart reports. You should, if you're investing in marketing or investing in a website or any of these tools, you should have clear reporting so that you can track your ROI and just see what is performing and what's not. Um, so again, your booking page tune up. These are our, if you're going to screenshot anything, I would screenshot this because these are our key takeaways from the discussion is the click, first impression. Zoom out, act like you've never seen your website a day in your life and you just learned how to use the internet. Think, have your grandma, your cousin, your friend come over and walk through your booking flow with you with fresh eyes. That's the best advice I can give you. Update your booking page's first impression, clarity, offerings. Again, I'm a big fan of actually not having one singular client login. I really like if you have a boarding page, link me to your boarding offerings. If you have a daycare page, link me to your daycare offerings because it makes it so clear and straightforward to the client as opposed to having one point of entry where it's unclear for the client where they need to go next. Next is the look. So confirm your calendar shows real live availability, not just a request where the client's going, do you have a room for me or not? Can you take my dog or not? They feel like they're hanging out in limbo. So making sure you have updated real availability is key. Then the client's going to make a choice. So organizing your menu into clear categories. Again, we were kind of just talking about this, but very clear. These are my boarding offerings. These are my daycare offerings. And maybe just start thinking about add-ons being bundled, right? I love add-ons. I'm a huge fan because I'm a consumer of them. When I board my boykins, I pick everything because they're so neurotic. And so it would be wonderful if there was like maybe even two or three add-on packages. Maybe one was like energetic dog package and the other was one-on-one package. And I would click the energetic dog package every time. And that might include one-on-one fetch time, a walk, pool time. But again, bundling it so that you're not asking the customer to make a ton of decisions. The pay, so making payment as easy and frictionless as possible. Deposits, buy now, pay later, packages, payment plans. Again, just meeting the client where they're at from a payment perspective. And then finally, the confirmation. So making sure that the client, it's crystal clear to them that they have been booked. They are on your calendar. You have not forgotten about them. They are officially booked. They're not waiting for any kind of response. So again, I'll pause here real quick because if you're going to screenshot, these are kind of the key takeaways of things that you can do today to really audit your booking page.
I was just going to jump in to say, Abby, I think it's fair to call out that some folks on the call might just be, running busy facilities in the middle of busy time. We do have a service that we're able to audit all of these flows for you. So if you're interested in that, feel free to drop a comment in the chat and I can grab your name and have the configuration team reach out. But we do have the ability to kind of audit your client booking page for you and then give you recommendations. We can also make those configuration changes for you with your approval, of course. If you're thinking like, oh yeah, it would be great for me to send a thank you text message 10 days after the client's last check-in, we can certainly help you set those kinds of things up. We can also help you go through and make sure your services are organized and your booking page looks good. So happy to help do that for you because I know sometimes, myself included, obviously I know our software very, very well, but sometimes it's like, okay, I have to hit the timeout button and go and do the thing and focus. But we have a configuration team that's happy to assist with that as well. If anyone needs help, if you're a PocketSuite user, if you're a non-PocketSuite user, we're also happy to help you configure. Abby did not pay me to say this, as she's now going to talk to you about if you want to look at our Pet Resort Edition. But non-PocketSuite users certainly definitely chat with Abby about doing a walkthrough, but we're happy if you're a PocketSuite user to help you with it as well.
Yeah, thank you, Allison. And Lola said she would like that service. So
Got it.
Allison, yeah, grab her name. For those that are not PocketSuite users, just to kind of segue from that as well, we do have a Pet Resort edition of PocketSuite. And so what that is it's kind of pre-templated out with general guidance of, this is how we would configure PocketSuite for your average pet resort. So it gives you a head start so that you're not feeling like you've just set everything up from the ground up. You're already a little bit ahead. You just got to add in your prices, right? You add in your prices, tell us how many kennels you have, and you're off and running. We do a 30-day free trial, so you can really get in and experience the platform. I would be more than happy to give you a free demo of the platform where we can walk through it together. And from an onboarding perspective, should you decide that PocketSuite would be the best solution moving forward, given all of the different capabilities, that's really Allison and her team, just like they have options to support existing PocketSuite users, we have options to support new PocketSuite users who are, again, in the trenches of busy season, hopefully about to come up for air a little bit here in August, and maybe a good time to switch over. And so Allison's team is here to help you take advantage of that and do the heavy lifting for you and to set everything up. So Eric said interested as well. There you go, Allison.
Yep, I grabbed both of their names, and
Okay,
Lola and
perfect.
Eric will reach out to you. I'll have Natalie, who leads our expansion team, reach out to you. No problem.
Yeah, so here's just some feedback we'll share about the Pocket Suite Boarding Edition. So two super fans here. Um, yeah, like I said, I've been training dogs for almost 10 years now, professionally, and I think it's a very intuitive platform. I think its strengths are, again, kind of in this booking process, just being much more intuitive than what I've seen out there in the pet industry so far, as well as a lot of the business side integration as well, Google reviews, online chat bot. Dawn has a question.
Yeah. Go ahead, Dawn. You should be able to come off mute, or you can put it in the chat however you want.
Yep, I think I just unmuted.
Yeah.
So I do training only, one-on-one training and behavior services. So I don't do online bookings. I've been reluctant to do that because I need to do a meet and greet with each of my clients to figure out which track or which service they need to go into. So do you have any suggestions for that for folks that don't want to do online bookings, or is there a way to do online bookings only for meet and greets so that then we have a chance to talk and I can help direct them?
Both. I'd recommend definitely, sorry, Debbie.
No, you're good. And
I would
Sylvia said
definitely
I can jump
recommend
in
on
too.
doing the behavior, like doing an evaluation or a meet and greet or whatever you call it. Definitely. Sylvia, yeah, happy for you to jump in. There's both options. You can do a lead form where it's like, hey, I'm interested in your service, and then you reach out, Dawn, directly to book them. My opinion, and I'll let Sylvia and Abby jump in, is I want to capture the client and get them to book something when they're thinking about me and thinking about our business. So I like the ability to let them book, meet and greets. You can manipulate your schedule in blocks or however you want, but that's my opinion. Go ahead, Sylvia.
Yeah, the way that I've been running it since I've been a Pocket Suite user, which has been for 3 years now. I'm the same way, Dawn. I don't want people just randomly booking me, or booking services. So my only booking availability on my page is just a phone consultation, and I offer those for free. And then I help direct the client into the service that I want. I'm also in Los Angeles, so it's a really big city. So different parts of the city I can't get to on the same day. So with Pocket Suite, I'm even able to geolocate my availability. So like on Tuesdays, I go here. On Wednesdays, I can go to this side of the city. So after I speak with the client, then I just send them the link to the specific service that is right for them. And then they can still online book. So I don't have to sit there and go back and forth with them on their calendar. I just say, oh, you live on the east side. Here's the east side calendar. And this is when I go to the east side. And these are the times that I'm available to get to you. So it's really streamlined my ability to kind of grow the number of clients that I can do because I can even geolocate where I'm traveling to on specific days for clients.
So would there be somebody available to walk me through that? Because that sounds very technological and
It's
I'm,
super
I'm
easy.
not.
It's
And
really
I
easy.
use the white glove service and they set it up for me. It was
Oh,
great.
wonderful. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Dawn, are you a current Pocket Suite user?
Oh, I am. I have been for, oh gosh, maybe 10 years now.
Oh, thank
Awesome.
you. We love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Y'all are wonderful. Just wonderful.
well, thank you. We love to hear that. And you've been around longer than Allison and I, so you can certainly attest, but we'd be more than happy to point that out. It is really easy. And Sylvia, that's a fantastic point, right? Is your booking links. I agree with Sylvia. I like having at least the meet and greet being public. But then you actually within Pocket Suite have booking links that can be hidden that are internal. And that's what Sylvia is referencing is she's like, once she talks to them about the service and says, this is the service you should be booking, she then just grabs that link and texts it to them so that they can book. So that link isn't visible publicly. Random people from the internet aren't finding that, but Sylvia's sending it out to the people that where it's applicable. And that's I think the happy medium for dog trainers. Jill said she does it the same way, so that's a good question. I think most trainers do. We need to know what we're walking into. My favorite little anecdote, my old platform, there was a dog coming in. I love human names for dogs. It's my favorite thing. And there was a dog named Trudy, and it said mixed breed, and there was no picture, and there was no visibility, there was no nothing. And I remember just thinking, oh my God, what kind of dog is Trudy going to be? And Trudy walks in, and Trudy's a big, chunky, block-headed pit bull, and it made my day. And I wish that I had a little bit more visibility from the booking side to just know what she was going to be because she was so stinking cute. But um, so yeah, that's kind of we all do it. We all do it where we're like, again, what do we need? So
Dawn, I just sent a note to our implementation manager. He'll reach out to you, and if you'd like to get a walkthrough of how we set up that online booking, happy to do it. Jill, if you'd like that as well, I can send your name over and have them reach out and review it with you if you'd like. Great.
yeah, all right, everyone. That wraps it up for our presentation today. Thank you everyone for joining. Are there any additional questions or even feedback?
While we're waiting for that, I'll let you guys know we're going on the road. We'll be at lots of the shows this fall, so we'd love to see you if you're coming out to IACP, Dog Handlers Academy in Chicago. Where else are we going to be? Hershey,
Famous.
for Canis. So we'll be at lots of the shows. We'd love to see you guys. We're doing a big presentation with Amber Burkholter, which she just opened the pet resort coach, doing a presentation with her in Hershey. And then I'm also speaking in Hershey about pet resort operations. So we'd love to see you guys out. We'll probably be letting you know on all these upcoming webinars to come and see us, but make plans to come and see us at one of those conferences if you can. And then this series is every other week. Right now, we are doing webinars every other week. So we'd love to have you join. Make sure you're following our socials, and you'll receive notification if you're on this email list and you registered for a webinar, you'll see it. So we'll see everyone back here in 2 weeks, same time, same place. Thanks,
Wonderful.
everybody. We'll
Thank
see
you all for
you soon.
joining. Hope everybody has a great evening.
Bye, guys.